Okay, so trying to recover a little bit. I have my green tea, trying to make my throat feel a little bit better so I can talk. The next thing I wanted to talk about was social networking, particularly comparing Mixi to Facebook. Now, of course, I'm pretty sure you all know Facebook. Um, on Facebook, pretty much everyone uses their real names. Some of them might have first name, obnoxious phrase in the middle, and then last name, which some of my friends do, which I kind of hate. But pretty much everyone uses their real names, and they use pictures of themselves as their profile pictures. Mixi is not like that. On Mixi, um, there are people that use their real names on their Mixi profiles, but it's not it's not an obvious detail on their profiles. They'll go by a screen name or something, a display name. Um, but one distinct feature about Mixi is that most of the profile pictures on Mixi are not actual photos of the person, but rather something something else. Um, Pretty random. It could be a car, it could be scenery, it could be a fish, it could be a stuffed animal, it could be a pet, it could be, it could be anything, but the vast majority of people on Mixi do not use their real photos. So that's one way that it's totally different from Facebook. I got a Mixi a few years ago, Mixi was only you could only join Mixi if you got an invite, and so I had gotten an invite, and uh, thinking that it was just like any other social networking site, I used an actual picture of myself, um, and I didn't really use Mixi a lot. Uh, I was kind of on and off about it. I mean, Mixi is entirely in Japanese, so I think that's probably one of the reasons why I didn't use it all that much. Not to mention that I didn't know that, like, most of the people that I knew on Mixi were friends that I had on Facebook, so it, it was kind of pointless. But yeah, so I used my actual picture, and I realized that it was kind of hard to look for anybody that looked interesting because no one used their actual face, which in a way that is pretty good. In a way, that's a good idea. I mean, it's kind of the way Mixi's designed. It's pretty secure. No one's using their actual pictures. You can only be invited at the time. You can only be invited. Then I think they changed it to now you have to have a Japanese mobile email address to sign up. I don't know if that restriction is still in place, but uh, it's pretty secure. But it was just hard to meet interesting people. It meant that I'd have to actually read their profiles, but no one really ever said anything particularly interesting in their profiles, so didn't really make a lot of friends. So I decided I would try to somehow attract people to me. Um, I just put in a simple profile. I said that I was from America and that I wanted to meet Japanese people, so on and so forth. Studied abroad, blah, blah, blah. And I added a picture, an actual picture of myself as my profile picture. Now I added a few more pictures from previous photo shoots that I had done from modeling. Uh, and suddenly, I think about 2 weeks ago, I had gotten a message from someone, a male, expected, considering, the modeling pictures I put up. Now in my profile, I kind of joked saying, I want to make friends with people who like the same music, and if I could, get a well, I didn't say Japanese boyfriend. I said if I could get a boyfriend, that would be, really great too. I was kind of joking. I put in the Japanese version of LOL in there, um, but I think it kind of implied that I was single, and so I had gotten a message from this person, just a simple hello, and I don't get a lot of messages from people, so I decided, oh, okay, this person said hi to me. I guess I should reply. Um, I replied. I was like, oh, nice to meet you. And it was a little bit awkward because his first message was really short. So I was like, oh, okay, nice to meet you. I'm thinking, okay, why does he want to talk to me? What, is he interested in or something like that? He kind of immediately goes into asking if there's some, if if there's somebody that I like, like he was trying to see if I was single or if I was interested in anyone, if I was seeing anyone. And I was like, yeah, this guy is looking for a girlfriend. So, but the thing is that the most troublesome thing about that was that before I even had a chance to reply to his message, he started sending me multiple messages. Like, he would send me one message asking me, like, one question. It was a really short message. And then, before I even get a chance to reply to that, he's already sent another message asking me something else. And so I would write a new message answering both of his questions, and then he would reply, and then he would send another message before I even had time to reply to the earlier one. I'm thinking, does this guy have absolutely no life that he's just constantly sending me messages? It's like, does he not realize that I have to actually reply, that messaging should be back and forth one at a time, and that it can be kind of overwhelming to send 2-3 messages consecutively before the other person has a chance to respond. That just gets annoying. And, I got so bothered about it that I'm thinking, why even bother? He's just going to keep sending me messages anyway. I mean, it's almost like what I say doesn't even matter because he's just going to figure out something else to ask me and then send me another message. So I've been taking my sweet time replying, because I've been pretty busy. I mean, not only have I been sick, but I've been busy too. So it's kind of hard for me, not only that, but, answering a message in Japanese, not my native language. If it was a message in English, I can respond to that pretty quickly. But, I read a message in Japanese, and I can understand it, but it takes me a little bit of time to write something. So, with that, and then with being sick, and then with having work, being tired, I kind of don't feel like replying right away. But, and yet he's so persistent. And I'm thinking, does this guy not get it? Does this guy not get that, I'm not replying to every single one of his messages, that he's sending me like 500 messages at once? That's not okay. That's definitely not okay. There's someone else who sent me a message. He I can't, my English sucks now. He called me his unmei no hito. Unmei no hito, I guess unme is like destiny or fate, and hito is person. So basically, he messaged me, and he was trying to imply that we were kind of destined to meet or something like that. And I'm like, oh, I can prove you wrong. I can prove to you that I'm not your unme no hito, because I mean that already creeped me out. And he's not quite as persistent with his messages. He at least sends me. He at least waits for me to reply before he sends something back. But still, with the same factors, it's hard for me to reply right away. So, um, he and the other guy had both asked me for my email address, and particularly it would have been my cell phone email address, and I don't want to give that out because it charges me on my bill for every incoming message. It's not like at least with my cell phone carrier AU, it's not like American cell phone companies where you pay for a certain amount of messages every month. Like it runs on data charges, so it charges me, um, for incoming, outgoing emails. So I don't like to give up my mobile email address, especially not to people who are going to send me 5-6 messages at a time. So instead, I gave them my main email address, my Gmail address, which was a bad idea, terrible idea. And they started emailing me on that. Now, I haven't been very responsive. But this other guy, he's still calling me his unme no hito, and it's kind of creeping me out. And so I haven't been really replying to him, but he's been asking me, oh, where do you live, and that kind of thing. That I don't. It's not so much that I'm worried about him being a dangerous person, him or the guy who's sending me 500 messages. I mean, that is one concern, that these people could be potentially dangerous, but it's more along the lines of they're just kind of bothersome. They're kind of persistent and a little bit bothersome. And eventually, if I keep talking to them, they're gonna wanna meet me in person. And me being a bit of an introvert, I'm not that open to meeting new people. I mean, I do like to meet new people, but I'm kind of selective about the people that I want to get to know. And so for these people to message me and to be persistent about it, and I've already kind of decided that I'm not interested in talking to them, it's kind of hard to deal with. So, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to handle that, but this is where the thing is that comes in with mixi not having, most of the people in mixi not having their actual faces shown. Now, me showing my actual face on my mixi profile shows other people what I look like, and that is probably why these two people messaged me. These two guys. They probably saw me, and not trying to sound conceited or anything, but they probably thought from my pictures, oh, she's kind of cute. She looks interesting. I want to talk to her. That kind of thing. And so they messaged me. Now, I get these messages and I immediately look at their profile and, I'm hoping that I see an actual picture of them. But no, I don't, because people on Mixi generally don't use their actual faces. So I see like random stuff, like pictures of jewelry, pictures of fish, that kind of thing. And I'm thinking, if you're interested in me, particularly because you're attracted by my looks, don't you think that it would be considerate or polite to show your face as well? Now, maybe they want to, but haven't because they're waiting for me to ask. But the thing is that if I ask, then it seems like I'm interested. But I'm not interested. But the reason I'm not interested is because I don't know what they look like. I mean, not trying to sound shallow, like, oh, they have to be good looking for me to be interested in them, but I mean, think about it. I mean, it's like this phrase, I use it with my dad in conversations a lot. It's like talking to a wall, but not in the way that I use it with my dad. When I use it with my dad, it's like talking to a wall. I usually use it in arguments, like, because if you're arguing with a wall, like, the wall is not going to change its mind. The wall just sits there. It's like, it's like talking to a wall. You're trying to change their mind. It's like they're not going to change. The wall is not going to change. But in this case, talking to a wall, I'm looking at this wall and I'm talking to it. It's a wall. There's nothing interesting about it. It's not appealing. It's not interesting to look at. Even if it talks back to me, it's just not very appealing. If I could see a person's face while, messaging back and forth, it makes things a little bit more interesting. But instead, I see a picture of a necklace, or I see a picture of a fish, and it's like, makes me feel like I'm talking to a necklace, or it makes me feel like I'm talking to a fish. It's not very interesting. So it's not very motivating for me to message these people because I don't know what they look like. They probably think I'm interesting because they know what I look like now. But I don't really want to talk to them because I can't see their faces. So, I mean, that's kind of one complaint that I have about Mixi, is that, it's, I mean, I can understand not everybody has the same way of thought that I do about needing to see someone's face. But I think when it comes to meeting people, maybe for dating or for personal encounters, it's important, I think, to know what they look like, to kind of, have kind of an expectation, because, I think you can get a lot from a picture of someone. I mean, for just general chatting, like on forums and that kind of thing, pictures probably not important. But for these guys to message me because they're probably interested in me in that way, I would think that it would, it'd be polite for them to show a picture of themselves. But there's nothing I'm going to really do about that. I don't really feel like talking to them. It makes me sound really mean, doesn't it? But, I mean, I don't know. It's like I kind of do want to meet Japanese people, but then when somebody comes along, I get kind of turned off by it because they're not they're not the kind of person that I'm looking for. It's like I do want to meet. It's like I've come to think that it's not that I want to meet Japanese people. Really, it's not that I want to meet Japanese people. I just want to meet interesting Japanese people. I want to meet very interesting Japanese people. I don't want to just meet anyone and be like, oh, you're Japanese. Because that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be interesting to talk to. So, yeah, I've yet to meet an interesting person on Mixi. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. Probably, probably bored by all that weird talk. It's late. Okay, it's late and I'm sick, so I'm sure nothing that I just said made sense, but I'm gonna end up uploading this video anyway. So, yeah, hopefully that gave you some insight on, just a little bit of insight on social networking, particularly on Mixi. So, should anything else happen on Mixi, I'll let you know in a future video. So, that's it for now. So, hope you are doing well wherever you are, and I hope I will get better by my birthday, which is in, I guess I can say, what time is it? I can say in about 4 days. I'm not going to be 21 anymore, I'm going to be 22. Okay, that's it. Bye.